What's going on? It's, what is it, Friday night, and it's round 3 Showdown, which is normally a great round of Showdown, but it's particularly weird this week with the 3-course rotation, okay? It's not our traditional moving day where, like, all the dudes who just barely made the cut go nuke on a Saturday. We have, like, a complete course rotation to factor in, so I think there's a lot of strategy. A little disappointed to see that the slappies over at DraftKings think that people don't love PGA just because there's divisional football tomorrow. What the fuck ever. What's up, new guy? My name's James, better known as TheDegenEditor75. I'm a DFS content creator who is here to help you get a little bit better at PGA DFS. I know a little secret that I'm going to tell you right now called This Shit Be Tough. And if you think you're going to get there with other people's picks and plays, let me just go ahead and tell you the end of this story. You're not, dude. So learn how to play the game, learn a little bit about the process. That's what this show is about. I am here to help you with those things. If that sounds interesting, I encourage you to hang around for about the next 25, 30 minutes. Hell, even throw your questions over there in the chat. If we get to 100 likes, I will be giving away a ticket that we will build together because the big guy's not a poor. If you really find you like the cut of my jib, yeah, check out that schedule right there. I do this show every Friday and Saturday night. It's the Showdown Hoedown. Can't you read the hat, new guy? Of course, I do the emergency stream every Wednesday night, 7 o'clock. That's in the Lord's time zone. Some have said it is the most popular stream in PGA DFS. Those people are called facts. And also, never forget that every Monday, me and Tambo, right when the prices drop, roughly around noon, are going to be doing a first look where we kind of get the juices flowing about what we think of the prices, what we think of the course, and what we're thinking. Because to me, the best part about PGA DFS is you get it's an entire week process, but you don't have to do something every fucking day. All right, I've already cussed twice. I'm already disappointed in myself. Let's get going. Once again, get me up to 100 likes. I'll give away a ticket. If we don't get to 100 likes, I'm not giving away those tickets. It's a lot of time because, you know, like, it takes a lot of time to build those, and I have to, like, return my DMs, and, like, I'm famous, so I don't like to return DMs. I'm kidding, new guy. I'm like a normal dude. I live in fucking Oklahoma City, okay? I'm a normal dude. If you ever need anything, you DM me. My DMs are open. I don't take myself too serious like so many other ass clowns in this industry. Let's get going and talk about what happened today, okay? First of all, over on my channel over there, right over there at TheDegenEditor.com, I told my guys this is what I thought, right? I think that you had to play guys from Nicklaus tournament today just because the vast majority of all of the studs were over there. Scheffler, Cantlay, Xander, Wyndham Clark, Sam Burns, like Finau, all of those guys, like legitimately probably 80% of all the studs in this tournament were over on the Nicklaus tournament course today, right? And we saw yesterday that La Quinta was the easiest of the 3 courses by a good chunk. But as I told them, you had to keep in mind the kind of guys that were playing on that course. La Quinta is probably the easiest course, or it's probably about tied with Nicklaus tournament. But when you have better players at La Quinta, of course it's going to seem noticeably easier because those guys are better at golf. And so today, it's no surprise that I projected that I thought Nicklaus tournament and La Quinta would play about the same. And as you can see, La Quinta played about 3.9 under par, whereas Nicklaus tournament played 4.2 under par, right? 4.25, which is insane. Your guy shot a -4 over there. He legitimately lost strokes, right? That's crazy. That's how easy that course was. But once again, I think you have to take into account that the majority of the best players are in that wave. So the Nicklaus tournament's going to be naturally inflated a little bit today because they had the best golfers going through there. And I don't know if you know this, but better golfers tend to score better than less good golfers. Yeah, that's the kind of hard-hitting facts you come here for, okay? And then here's what I found really interesting. Look at Stadium Course today, a full 3 strokes under par, right? Let's not sleep on it. Yesterday for round 1, it was only 2 strokes under par. It played a full shot easier today. I don't exactly know why, because the players that played on the Stadium Course today are about of the same caliber of the guys who played on it yesterday. The best I can come up with is that we saw that it got warmer quicker today, right? So you go and you look at Stadium Course yesterday, you see there was a pretty big gap in who shot well. The guys in the afternoon got out to the Stadium Course pretty well, but the guys in the morning, because I told you it stayed a little bit colder on yesterday than it did today, and I think today it was just warmed up, and that course was ready to give up birdies from the very first hole. So with that, I think that would account for a big chunk of the difference. Is the Stadium Course today was literally it was already 60 degrees by the time the first guys were teeing off, and they didn't have to sacrifice 4 or 5 or 6 holes waiting on the course to warm up. With that said, I still think the Stadium Course is noticeably the less scory of the 3 courses. Can you tear up the Stadium Course? Absolutely. Just go look at the top scores today. Guys, if you just sort by best rounds today, that is the wrong way. Some guys, literally none of the top guys, but Paul Barjon, Troy Merritt, Dunlap had one. So only 2 guys of all the -8 guys came from Stadium Course. -8 or higher, only 2. The point being is if you have your A+ game, you can go tear up Stadium Course. Shoot a -6, -7, -8. But if you have your A+ game over at La Quinta or Nicklaus tournament, -9, -10, -11 start coming into play, right? So as I'll always tell you, Stadium course, you can play tomorrow. And I think you're going to have to probably play a couple guys from the stadium course tomorrow because, as I told you, all the studs are going to be over there, right? Scotty Scheffler, yes, he is going to be playing a course that is a shot harder tomorrow than the other guys. But he's also 2 shots better than every other mother father on those other courses. So he can probably overcome that, right? If Scotty has his A-plus game, it won't matter what course he's on, okay? So here's what I would encourage you to do. Really think about how many guys you want to have at stadium course because the stadium course can give up the low scores. But here's what I'll tell you. The range of outcomes on the stadium course is much, much larger than it is on La Quinta and on Nicklaus Tournament, right? Nicklaus Tournament, like the worst round you could possibly shoot is like an even round, maybe -2. There are +3s and +4s lingering around the stadium course. At La Quinta, the worst round you're ever going to shoot there, unless you're just a complete ass clown, is like a -1 or -2. Whereas at stadium course, we've already said, we've seen guys who can go shoot a +3 or a +4 there. So you just got to remember, when you play stadium course, you're bringing in a much bigger range of outcomes than if you just have your guys play at La Quinta and Nicklaus Tournament. This is why I would be very, very selective about the guys that I put into my lineups tomorrow who are going to be playing stadium course, okay? But at the same time, you're probably going to want to spend your salary, and to spend your salary, you're probably going to have to play some of those dudes who are going to be over at the stadium course, okay? That is a breakdown of the courses today. I would expect that all 3 of these courses are going to be relatively even tomorrow, right? The stadium course is going to catch up to these other 2 because, A, it's not going to have as good of players on La Quinta and Nicklaus Tournament, but more importantly, the best players are going to be over in the stadium course, which will naturally inflate the score by at least half a shot just because, they're better at golf. All right, there you go. Let's talk a little contest selection. I already kind of pissed on DraftKings at the start. I get that divisional football's tomorrow, but people love PGA Showdown. It is happening. It is growing. At least they didn't, they put out the same tournament they did today, which for the lottery isn't that bad, right? But even the $5, if you didn't notice the $5 day, it was $5,000 up top, the drive the green, and it was $25,000 prize pool. So that meant that the first place was only 20% of the entire prize pool, which for a lottery is about as good as you're going to get, Bob. It's about as good as you're going to get. But then today they drop it, or for tomorrow, for round 3, they drop it down to 22,000. So now 5,000 going to first is now all of a sudden, what is that going to be? That's going to be like 27%, right? So like that really kills it, right? Am I doing that math right? Yeah, 22.5%, right? 4.5. Yeah, about 22.5% of now, right? Which still isn't the worst, but like it's not great, Bob. Okay, I like it a lot more at 20. That's kind of like my cutoff that I prefer to play in the lottery. So I don't get it. They're shaving 3,000 off the top and killing a good structure, right? Because most of that 3,000 that gets shaved off just gets shaved off these top spots here, which is where I really want them to be because I'm playing for top 10 lineups to get all my money back or maybe win a little bit. They nerfed my $10 18 max. I believe it was 25,000 today. Only 10,000 tomorrow. What the fuck ever. The $1 20 max is down. They just kind of nerfed everything. The only thing I can come up with, they're probably scared of football. There is no weather delays. There is no issues with that. Whatever, DraftKings. Why do you got to be this way? I see over 100 people in here, only 58 likes. That means we have roughly about 50 dickies. About 50 dickies in here, okay? Also, don't forget to go check out Underdog, right? I've seen some, they do these little snake person drafts, and the same guys that you're going to want to play at DraftKings are the same guys you're going to want to take over here. And all these stupid motherfathers at Underdog, they just draft off of ADP. They don't give any consideration to who's playing on what course or anything like that. You can really go over there and draft some unique lineups because every dipshit's just like, I take guys off of the ADP, which is stupid on so many different levels. A, EDP is just the average of what all the morons are doing. And B, which I have a 2 up, so we're going to say, and 2 is like you are going to be in the exact same build as everybody else. If you always draft off ADP, your roster is going to look the exact same as everybody else that drafts off ADP. Why are you doing this? Help me help you. All right, moving on. Let's get to weather. If you guys listen, you can actually hear the casino calling my name. Degen, what the hell's that? What was that? Yeah, I'm going to play poker tonight. I got it in the blood. Okay, you go rip off 7 winning sessions in a row and tell me you're not trying to get to the casino on a Friday night, okay? Matter of fact, I'm like, as soon as this is over, I'm tossing on my cape and flying my ass over there. All right. Weather for tomorrow, beautiful. There is a chance at some showers tomorrow. Of course, we're looking at because I got the fancy projections. I'm not a fucking poor who uses Wind Finder. And you can see it's the same thing I saw today, right? By 9 o'clock, it's already into the 60s. And I'm telling you, there is a noticeable difference between scoring on golf courses when it's 50 degrees and when it gets above that 60-degree threshold. So most of the golfers' tee times are going to start after it's already in the 60s. And once this course is in the 60s with no wind, it has no defense. I mean, no defense defense, and they're going to like the shit out of this course tomorrow, including the stadium course, because the stadium course is generally an easy course, and the best players are going to be there, right? I am just telling you, there is a bigger ceiling at the La Quinta course and the Nicklaus tournament because you're more likely to get streaks there. You're more likely to get bogey-free rounds there. But the most important thing I can tell you is you're a lot less likely to take on those those ugly-ass double bogeys whenever you put one in the drink, okay? And the big guys put a couple in the drink in his day, okay? So there you go. That's the weather for tomorrow. Absolutely divine. I think, look, even with this like potential sprinkles here, it looks like a big nothing burger, and it will be towards the end of the round. And if anything, it would just keep the greens, whatever baked out they may be, from getting too much. They're going to roast this course tomorrow. It is heavenly conditions. Maybe the first few groups out will have to play a hole or two before it gets to perfect conditions, but I think you're going to see scoring in line with what we saw today, okay? Let's see. Let's go over here. Oh, you want my projections and my ownership? You want to have a guy who actually factors in his projections and does things like, putting regression, ball striking regression, who's playing on what course? What a novel concept. Ownership that's not just the stupidest shit you've ever seen, like another optimizer. It's literally criminal how bad their ownership is. Okay. You want all that? Well, you can have all of that for $25. Oh yeah. And you get the best optimizer out there called the Solver. All you got to do is use my little Showdown hoedown symbol. And I'm telling you, you need to hurry up and do this, because every day you're playing Showdown without reliable projections and without reliable ownership, you are literally making decisions on fraudulent information. You are kneecapping yourself before the event even starts. You need projections you can count on as a starting point. You need ownership you can count on, and then you need an optimizer who's going to take your player pool and make the best versions of those lineups. It don't matter if you have a great player pool if you're not making the best versions of that player pool. This is what the Solver does. I swear by it. You see my little Showdown hoedown symbol right there? Starting to become the most trusted brand in PGA DFS. I encourage you to go sign up, get the 6-month package, and save yourself a couple bucks. That's what I'd say, bruh. All right, moving on. You can't forget, guys, they are on a 3-course rotation. For all of you that are used to round 3 Showdown, this is normally after the cut, and we're just trying to play those guys who are going to go shooting up the leaderboard on a Saturday. That ain't the case tomorrow, okay? Everybody who played, the rotation goes like this. La Quinta, Nicklaus Tournament, Stadium. So all of the studs played La Quinta the first day. They played Nicklaus Tournament, so they're all playing Stadium course tomorrow. Who are the studs? Xander, Finau, Cantlay, Scheffler, Kirk, Wyndham Clark, Justin Thomas, Ricky Fowler. There's a bunch of them. Who else? Sam Burns, Ben Silverman. I mean, all the top players. I mean, all of them. Okay, Kevin Streelman, just the legends of the game. So you need to know that all these guys right here are going to be on the Stadium course tomorrow. Should you play guys on the Stadium course? Yes and no. I think you should. I think that you're going to really, there's going to be some guys that are going to go just -8, -9 on the Stadium course tomorrow, and they could be part of a winning lineup. Furthermore, I know a lot of you are 6-year-olds like me, and you want to spend most of your salary. You don't want to leave $2,000 on the table. Well, let me tell you, it's a lot easier to not leave money on the table if you mix in some of these studs that are going to be playing Stadium course tomorrow. But here's what I implore you to do. Start asking yourself this question. Take the studs at the other course, Eric Cole, JT Poston, Sung J M, Tom Kim, guys like that, and ask yourself, are those guys a full stroke worse than the studs on this course? Because I think that those courses over there, rather the average plays that way, I think that La Quinta and the Nicklaus Tournament are a full stroke easier than the Stadium course on average, if you did it over the long run, right? So you need to ask yourself, is Xander Schauffele a full stroke better than those guys? If your answer is yes, well, then you should play Xander Schauffele. If you think that, no, Sungjae and Xander are basically the same guy, well, then why would you ever play Xander over Sungjae, assuming they are relatively the same ownership? Now, if you can get Xander at 5% ownership, I think that that's another discussion, right? And that adds a whole nother level to the game theory aspect of this. But here's what I've noticed through the first 2 days. The course rotation is having a little impact on ownership, but not much. Most people are just playing guys, and they don't even know what's on 3 courses. If you only knew the number of dipshits that literally just enter lineups and don't even know that this is a 3-course rotation, it would blow your mind. So I think that the one edge there is out there is trying to find guys to justify playing at the easier courses than playing at the Stadium course, but knowing that you're probably going to have a few guys from the Stadium course, especially the studs, right? If you want to play punts on the Stadium course, go ahead. But just know that those same punts over on La Quinta and on Nicklaus Tournament are literally 3 to 4 times more likely to have a nutted type round than the punts over here at the Stadium course. And if you don't know, new guy, the term punt just means like usually a low price, riskier guy. That's what a punt is, right? It's stole from the British, right? A punt. What are you, a punter? It's like a gambler, right? All right. And don't forget, the guys who played Stadium Course today, who we're going to be looking at their stats in just a minute, they'll be on La Quinta tomorrow, right? Which is, I still think, the easiest course. I think Nicklaus Tournament and La Quinta are both super easy, and you want to be playing guys from both those courses. I still just err on La Quinta because we have tracked it for 2 days. You are more likely to get a streak at La Quinta than you are at the Nicklaus Tournament, okay? And anybody who played La Quinta today will now be playing Nicklaus Tournament tomorrow, which is going to be some big names, right? We're talking Will Baronosaurus with the long neck, Daniel Berger, JT Poston, I already said Eric Cole. I mean, there's some there's some real players here, not Siwoo Kim, that's SH Kim, not the same guy, right? There's some real players in this group, right? So I wouldn't sleep on these guys as they're going to be getting Nicklaus Tournament tomorrow, as most of them roasted La Quinta today, okay? All right, let's get over to stats. You got to remember, we're over here on Data Golf looking, and I'm only looking at round 2 stats. So the only people who are going to have actual strokes gained data are going to be guys on the Stadium Course. Because for whatever reason, the PGA Tour, they play this damn tournament every year. It's always on the same 3 courses, and somehow the PGA, probably $1 billion entity, whatever the hell they are, can't afford to get some 80-year-olds to run Shot Tracker on the other 2 courses. It's not like the Shot Tracker on the main course is great, so let's just have that same piece of shit Shot Tracker on all 3 courses, but they can't do it. So we only have strokes gained data from one of the 3 courses, which is just laughable, right? This is the kind of shit you would expect from like the NCAA, and this is what the Professional Golf Association of America fucking comes up with. Unbelievable. Looking at ball striking, if you're a ball striking truther, I think that's always a great place to start, right? Because ball striking is off the tee plus approach, and those are the 2 things that tend to carry over from round to round much more than around the green and putting do, right? If you're ball striking well, that probably means you're giving yourself lots and lots and lots of chances at birdies, right? And that's what we need, because if you haven't seen, your guys aren't shooting -8, just pack it up and go home. Pack it up and go home. So some guys that were just absolutely killing it on ball striking day. Paul Barjon, just shocking, right? What is this? What is this? Les Mis? Okay? Paul Barjon. I don't know. Good movie, though. Makes me cry every time. Anne Hathaway, dirty hoe. Let's see. Cam Davis. I mean, dude, Cam Davis is a freaking, the guy's a psycho right now. He's either the worst golfer I've ever seen, or he's like, oh, this guy's future Cam Davis, right? Or excuse me, Cam Smith. He already is Cam Davis. Roger Sloan. Okay, that's a name. That's a blast from the past. I'm not sure I'm chasing that one. Eckgoat, Hadwin, Jaeger, Alex Smalley. If you're looking at ball striking, a guy who couldn't make a putt today, interesting. Same thing with Kevin Yu. Very, very good tee to green. Didn't make many putts. Rico Hoey, right? That guy gets around, but I still would be open to playing him. Dude, there's just some, just look at this. If you go search by approach, who are some guys on that Stadium Course who will now be on La Quinta tomorrow that really killed it? Troy Merritt. Anytime I see Troy Merritt with hot irons, my big ass is in, right? Anybody else? Oh, Callum tearing out my heart. Hey, he won't lose 3 strokes putting again tomorrow. Unless he does. What did Sungjae end up finishing? All right. Sungjae got hot there for a minute. Sungjae, I'm telling you, Sungjae kind of spun his wheels a little bit today. Wasn't great at anything, but could go back. Taylor Montgomery, week-long donkey chalk. He'll get there tomorrow. Donkey dicks always get there. Remember that rule now. Your life will be much more rich. No one's going to play Tom Kim tomorrow, right? Just look at this. But he really wasn't that bad outside of just being horrific on short game. Short game is around the green and putting together. If you want a high leverage guy that costs, that's going to eat up a lot of your salary, consider Tom Kim tomorrow, right? I mean, there is a chance he just packs it in. He's legit going to have to probably shoot a -9 to even make the cut, but that could just keep his ass motivated, right? Let's see if anybody really screwed themselves off the tee. Okay, Wilson Furr. Got to tell you, not playing that guy. Anybody else? Ooh, Matthias Schmidt. Really, really bad off the tee, but was pretty good with approach and putting. Don't mind that one there, bub. Don't mind that. And once again, if you want to know the guys that are going to be on Nicklaus Tournament, you're going to have to go look at what they did yesterday, because they'll finally be rotating over to that one today, because they'll have the Stadium Course strokes gained data from yesterday, right? Let's see. Who else we got here? Taylor Montgomery. Picking up on approach. He usually always picks up on putting. Anybody kill themselves around the green were otherwise good. We already talked about Alex Molly. Oh, Andrew approaching him. Okay, that's really bad approach. And more like Andrew Putnam today. Oh, wait, that's his name. Anybody else? Dude, Scott Gachalski. If you don't know about that guy, just go look him up. If you looked at him, you'd be like, dude, that looks like my uncle. He can't play golf. And you're not wrong. You're not wrong. All right, there you go. That's the breakdown. I went over the stats. I went over the weather. Went over the contest selection, went over everything. I'm going to answer some questions. I see us at 78 likes. Let's see if we can get the push to 100. I'm going to answer some questions, and then I'm out of here like a fat kid in dodgeball, all right? Pretty nice that we got, 120 of you in here at 6:20 on a Friday? Do you guys not have jobs? I don't either. Hey, come check out my site, Showdown Hoedown, which is degen75.com. Guys, I'm telling you, it's a different site. It's not like anything else out there. I give you way more than anybody else gives you for PGA DFS. I try so much harder at it than anybody else, and I do this little thing called not price gouging you because I'm not a shady piece of shit. Okay? Everything I offer for golf, which is customized videos, my Rosetta Stone, which is this thing right here, which we do for all of the rounds. Well, we're not doing it for this one because we don't have strokes gained data. Thanks a lot, PGA Tour. All the stuff I do for week long, the best ownership out there, the best projections out there, all of it, $34.99. If you want everything I have to offer, including NASCAR and football and all of that, $54.99. And last warning, the big guy is going away in 2 weeks. If you want to lock up one of those final spots, get in now because I will never offer it again. And just a big shout out to all my winners flying the flag. Just once again, 14 GPP winners this week. Guys winning 20, and even the guys who don't win are still winning 1,500, 25,000, 5,000, 2,000. I mean, literally, just go look at any Showdown leaderboard and just tell me any symbol you see up there more than mine. You won't find it, dude. And I'm just a little itty bitty site that could, you mother father. If you've ever wanted to try out my website and you've been reluctant to do it, simply just sign up for my newsletter and show the editor, which I believe is right here on the screen, and he will get you a free week on the website. Editor, do we have 100? We don't have 100 likes. I'm not giving it away if we don't get 100 likes. And don't forget, guys, the Waste Management Meetup is only 2 weeks away. If you're going to be in Scottsdale, here is the itinerary. You can reach out to me. You can reach out to Tambo if you have any questions. But this is where we're going to be. If you want to meet up, have a beer, have a bite to eat, bullshit about golf, tilt our tits over our guy missing the cut on the number, well, we'll have a good time. We are normal people. We are not like famous and stuff. So you can come up, have a good time, and realize I'm just a dude that likes to talk shit into a mic. All right, let's get over to questions. First of all, let me jump over here to my super chat. I saw, damn, it's nice to have golf back. Thanks for all the process tips. Yeah, I saw, Nick, I thought you had that $100 single entry wrapped up today, but somehow that guy passed at the last minute. Nick still got second. I think I got, what did I get, fourth or fifth or whatever. Good day for us, Nick. Good day. We're off to a good start this year. Why do I sign up to get kicked in the nuts every Thursday? Because it's fun, man. And you got to remember, we call it kick in the nuts because it's a kick in the nuts, kick in the nuts, kick in the nuts until it's not. If you have a good process, you play it well enough, eventually you'll have a Sunday where you run well and things break your way and you'll get that big one that will pay off all your shit. And here's what I'll tell you. In the meantime, if you're like, yeah, but I keep losing in the meantime, are you having fun? Then who the fuck cares? All right, sweatiest dude here, I guess. Let's go. Ashley in the house. Who surprised you? Who surprised you the most with their play today, good and bad? Ooh, that's a good question. Ashley coming in, Ashley zinging fastballs. I'll tell you, Paul Barjon at the stadium course today to shoot a -8 with that ball striking. Paul Barjon is not a dude that's ever on my radar. So shocking. A guy that did bad today that I would have really thought was going to do well. Let's see. Is there anybody that kind of surprised me? I mean, Michael Block sucking, just shocking. Let's see. So anybody I was really, I really thought Dumpy Bo was going to have a round today. I was just really feeling Dumpy Bo, those saggy titties. I was just feeling him, and he didn't do shit today. He didn't do shit. So I guess that would be the one I was most surprised about. I had a good amount of exposure to him at Showdown. He was one of my weakest plays in hindsight, right? What's up, X-Durka? Can't recall, but didn't you predict yesterday that North Course would be nuked by the would get nuked the hardest today? I said that I thought La Quinta and Nicklaus Tournament would be about the same, just because the better players were on Nicklaus Tournament today, and we got it right. And I played all those guys, right? Like I played Wyndham Clark, I played Sam Burns, right? I just knew better than to fade the studs at Nicklaus Tournament. I wasn't gonna do it, but almost all my punts I played from La Quinta today. Surprised the donkeys are getting there. About as surprised as I am that I'm sweating right now, which is not much. I got hot lights on me. And for more balanced lineups across and take a stand on one course, I don't mind that, Sean. I think if you're going to lean La Quinta or lean Nicklaus Tournament, you can really build a lineup with like 9K, 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 8K, 7K, 7K, and could probably build a pretty good lineup, right? But just know, one of those big names is going to go ape shit on Stadium Course tomorrow. But I will tell you this, I have no idea which one it's going to be, and it could be 2 or 3 of them. But I promise you, at least one of those studs will shoot a -8 at the Stadium Course tomorrow. I promise. Will the cut be -13? That's a good question. Let's look that up, Corey. Right now, if I don't always trust Data Golf's cut line projection, but I would say it's probably teetering between 12 and 11 is what they have it at, and that sounds about right to me. That sounds about right. Do you think people will overreact to Nicklaus Course strokes under par? I don't think so, Andrew. You would be amazed how few people are even looking at this shit. This is going to be the most watched Showdown stream today, right? And I'll probably get, what, 1,500 views maybe. And how many of those 1,500 are even watching? Let's say 1,000 people are actually watching the entire stream and listening to everything I'm saying. There will probably be somewhere around 20 to 25,000 people playing some form of Showdown tomorrow. That means that over 90% of them are not hearing anything I'm saying. And I've seen the other sites, the other shows, they ain't talking about this shit, okay? So I think that you would be amazed how many people don't even consider that stuff, Andrew. This is why PGA Showdown will always have an edge, because the vast majority of people just aren't getting any good content, right? There's like, I got projections that I get from that one site that I get from another guy. Why shouldn't I stack the studs at Stadium Course and La Quinta punts tomorrow? I don't mind. I mean, that makes sense, Greg. You can. But here would be my counter to that, Greg. Why not stack the studs from the Nicklaus Tournament, which we know is an easier course than the Stadium Course, right? And don't act like there's not studs playing Nicklaus Tournament tomorrow, right? So that would just be my question. If you have an answer to that, well, then do it. Maybe the answer is this, Greg. Maybe you mix your studs from the Nicklaus Tournament and the Stadium Course, and then use your punts from La Quinta, right? Maybe that's the answer. Look, I'm a teacher, so I always never just give answers. I try to always answer a question with a question and get you thinking, all right? If that pisses you off, sorry. Who are your favorite studs? Who are your favorite studs on the Stadium Course? I don't know. That sounds too much like who's my picks, but I can tell you who the studs are over there. It's Scotty Scheffler, Xander Schauffele, it's Cantlay, it's Finau, it's Wyndham Clark, it's Sam Burns. It's just all the best players, right? Those are the studs. Do we have to play studs at the Stadium Course tomorrow to spend money? I don't think you have to. I think there's enough guys on the other two courses, because don't forget, you still got Sung Jae, you still got Tom Kim, you still got Eric Cole, you still got JT Poston. There's other guys to spend money on at the other two courses, right? But there's not a ton of choices, right? So you're going to probably have to get very committed to those guys, especially if you're building over 20. Tell me who to avoid, please, i.e. Donkey Chalk. I would like to tell you, Mark, that the guys on the easier courses tomorrow are going to be the Donkey Chalk, but so far, I would be very surprised if Cantlay and Chef and Scotty are not highly owned, even though they're on the quote-unquote hardest course tomorrow, right? Thank you again for the super chat, Nick. Much appreciated. Glad to see you killing it early in the season. You were due for some real good. Oh, we only need 2 more likes, and we're getting to a drawing. When creating a player pool and you only recognize a few names, how many criteria, tee to green, numbers of birdies, potential upside, should I not get lost in the analysis? Yeah, I think this is part of like why I like to put out the stone. I tell people to build their own process. I don't look at everything on the Rosetta Stone, right? I got my key things I go look at, right? Like for me, I really focus on good approach, right? I really focus on historical round 3. But I don't focus on bad round regression as much, but I will focus on short game regression. I don't look at the putting series a whole lot, but I love the approach series, right? So I kind of go in there and I find what helps me. When I go find my guys that do well, I say, why did I land on that guy? And what I have found that is consistently guys that bounce back, which is the or they could guys. It's guys whose approach was telling a story, or it's guys who were historically good at that round. That's part of my process. That's how I have found my good plays at Showdown. And so those are the things I focus on. Yes, I will look at the putting series and that stuff. I just don't give it much weight, because at some point you can't get a paralysis by analysis, right? Cole to be Donkey Chalk tomorrow? Yeah, he'll be very popular. Him and Poston will be very popular. Any difference from the 1st to the 10th tee on the Stadium Course? That's a great question. Let me go look at that, Mike. Let me go look at that, boy. You've got great questions there, Mike. I'm pretty sure I saw you finish right behind me and Nick in the $100 single entry. All right, Stadium Course. If I were to go off, 18's harder, so I would say probably a decent advantage, probably a 2 to 3% advantage if you go off 1. Because if you go off 1, you're going to get to play 8, 9, 10 together, and 9, 10, 11. And both of those are birdie streak type things, right? Whereas if you didn't, you would just get 10, 11, 12, which you're going to get to play that either way. So I would prefer my guys go off 1 than go off 10. Which, if you want to know who that's going to be, all the guys going off 1 tomorrow is going to be Xander and Finau, Scheffler, Cantlay, Wyndham Clark, Ricky, Thomas, those guys, right? And guys going off of 10 are going to be these ones down here. Kind of like, Burns, Mav McNeely. Why is DJing the GOAT? I missed your channel. Small still, brother. Oh, yeah, when it was small. I get it. I was going to say, it ain't small. I mean, it's a little bit small. You're giving away too much game-changing info for the people. I mean, you know what? Just learn to adapt. That's what we got to do. Editor, I see 103 likes. Make sure to draw me a name. Draw me a name, editor. God, there's a lot of fucking questions tonight. I need to start skipping through these. I'm never going to get to the casino. Why hasn't anyone smashed the like button? Jacob gets it. All right, what's the tour cast just absolutely sucking? Dude, I don't know why it's so bad. You're running it on one course. I don't know why. Charlie, haven't seen this motherfather in a while. Dude, I won't start doing a round 4 DK contest until I start getting my week-long fill more quickly, which will probably be after football, if I'm being honest, Charlie. Can you gain leverage by throwing 2 to 3 stadium course players? Or I honestly don't think they're going to be low owned, Brian. I would be all about playing Scheffler, Cantlay, and Xander tomorrow if I thought they were going to be lower owned, but I don't think they're going to be. I don't think you're going to get enough discount ownership. You know, it's got alligator blood. That's what I've got. Would you even target guys at stadium course on underdog? Probably not. I just let other people overdraft them. That'd probably be a good strategy. Do we know the splits between La Quinta and Nicholas tomorrow? Yeah, we looked at that. Let's go, DGen. If you have one, which golfer are you sweating, hoping makes the cut? I would not. I think I have some really good lineups where who is it? Matt Kuchar. I really need to make the lineup. I think I have a pretty sick 6 of 6, and Matt Kuchar's the ass clown weighing it down. So if he can find a -8 tomorrow, wouldn't mind it, old Matty Cooch. What casino do you play at? I am playing at Fire Lake Grand Casino there in Shawnee, Oklahoma tonight. They have a nice little 1-2 game, but it plays like a 2-5 because they let you buy them for $500, and the people suck at it. I don't even think I'm a great poker player. I literally think I'm just better than all those slappies. In a showdown for fields, I mean, you got to remember that my friends in the poker community are literally world champions, so like I probably have a distorted view of how good of a poker player I am. I compare myself to them, and of course, compared to them, I'm like a 3 out of 10, right? Compared to most people, probably like a 7 out of 10. In a showdown for field size, would you recommend in a single entry or 3 max? What's the right balance of low owned players versus build the best lineup? I would just really commit to a few guys. If I'm going, like, go pick your favorite guys and don't really worry about it, right? I would stick to the guys that you think are going to do the best and not worry about so much about playing leverage if you're in a single entry or a 3 max. Since you expended this energy during the streams, when are you at the poker table? No, all I do, literally, Johnny, all I do is bullshit with the dealers and tip the shit out of them. I love the dealers at the casino. That's why I drive all the way out there. I don't play poker to make money. I mean, I do make money at it, weirdly enough, but I still tip like a wild animal. They do like the high hand, and like if I hit like the $500 high hand, I just give half of it to the dealers. Like, I just don't give a shit. It's just money. And those dealers make sure I have a good time, and so I like to thank them for that. Plus, they're like working, and I like people who are good at their jobs. Matter of fact, I bet there's about 3 dealers watching this show right now because, you know, they know I'm like famous and stuff and I do like streaming. Whatever. New guy, who are your 2 high-owned players who will not pair together? You know, I think like, you know, Poston and Cole, I paired them up a lot together today. I think one of those guys I might have to try to strategically fade tomorrow and just be kicked in the dick when they both do good. Are we chasing guys to make the cut tomorrow? Well, Pat and Kazire can fuck off, Nick. I know that for sure. Would you cap players at this? Yeah, 2 per lineup would probably be the most I would do, Mike. I like that. What is your guess at the cutoff score? I'm going to go -12. -12. What course do they play round 4 at? It'll be at the stadium course, Colin. So, like, all the studs get to play stadium course 2 days in a row, which I think is a pretty nice advantage. Who will be the lowest owned stud? Tom Kim. Tom Kim, I would bet. Who would you play a golfer who has course record on a course that he is playing? Yeah, I would. I'm a big fan of PGA psychology, right? These guys just feel good at some courses, they shoot better. Big Driggs in the house. Better to go with great players on the second course or studs on the I mean, that's going to be your decision. I know which way I'm leaning, but you got to make your own decisions. Any thoughts on where the cut line will be? Already answered it. If Bramlett a dart tomorrow, he didn't play bad outside of a quadruple. I don't mind that, right? One bad hole can really screw up a card. Tom Kim nuke tomorrow, I wouldn't mind it because I'm probably playing him. Julian. If we could use one stone static to eliminate a golfer from 5,000 player single entry GPP, what would you use? Probably like short game regression. I don't like guys who just luck sacked with their putter the whole time. Jesus, wait, did the editor do the drawing? Editor, where the hell's the drawing? Are you going to draw a name? Editor died. I think the editor died, everybody. He was a good man. He was a good man. We're going to miss him. Editor, where are you at? We're over 100 likes. I don't know where he's at. All right, Steven says, by the way, some of you, I'm pretty sure, asking more than 2 questions. You grabbing some guys from La Quinta tomorrow? Definitely. Will the stone be up today? There's just no strokes gain data, Richard. It would make no sense. It would just be full of a bunch of blank shit. So, no, I've already recorded the video for the Discord, pretty in-depth. Tom Kim noobs back door makes the cut. Wouldn't mind it. I wouldn't say that's likely, though. What's the reason they don't have stat tracker at La Quinta and Nicholas tournament? Because they're fucking lazy assholes. Who wins this weekend's tourneys? I like a dark horse. I like KH Lee or Michael Kim. Maybe that's just because I have them in my week-long lineups. Will you have more players on La Quinta or Nicholas tomorrow? Probably about a 50-50 split, if I'm being honest, Oliver. I'm kind of viewing both those courses about the same, but I would give a slight edge to there we go. Lamont Stewart. There you go, Lamont. Reach out to me on Twitter. We'll build the lineup tonight, or we can save it for another slate if you so want to. We'll put it in the main tournament. It's on me. I'll split the winnings with you 50-50. Let's see. Am I famous enough to ask people to give me a space at the Waste Management? You could try. What's an edge at underdog? Is the weather wave? No, it's the course. It's the course they're playing. Good luck at the tables, not big guy. May all your cards be live and your pots be monsters. Don't mind that. Who used to say that? Was that frickin' what's the guy that passed away? I liked him so much. God, what the fuck was his name? Oh, that's gonna bother me. Oh my God, if this were multiple choice, I'd have it in a second. Mike Sexton. Thanks, Johnny. Is this a no-cut event or 3 days? It's going to be cut after tomorrow, right? So it's a 54-hole cut, which is very rare. It's only one of 2 tournaments to do that. All right, guys, I appreciate all of you being here on a Friday night. We will be back tomorrow for Saturday night. It'll probably be on during NFL, so none of you will be here. I don't give a shit. I go hard in the paint, you motherfathers. So I will still be here. If you listen real closely, you can hear the chips shuffling in my fingers right now, and you can actually hear the felt moving as the dealer pushes me another huge pot because I've got to go smack these slapdicks at the poker table. I will be back tomorrow. I will be doing everything as always because nobody goes harder than the big guy. But damn it, it's Friday night and I want to play some poker. So I'll talk to you guys later. In the meantime, you motherfathers kick some ass tomorrow and enjoy this outro.